You're viewing the Eufaula Church of God in Christ program. Elder Samuel Page is pastor. You're invited to watch this program each week at this time or to join them for regular services on Highway 431 North, just past 165 on the right. Eufaula Church of God in Christ welcomes you to this program.
Good morning, Coach Moore. And I tell you what, you gotta have a smile on the coach's corner this morning.
Yeah, it was a good night. Defensively, we got back to playing Eufaula football, and that was exciting. So I was proud of the guys. I was proud of going on the road and winning a game. We didn't play very well the week before on the road, so it was exciting to come out and play a lot better.
Well, it was really good to see the team come back out. Now, what did they? We know they did some things right, obviously, 21-0. What were some of the things that you need to look for to improve on for this Dale County game?
Well, we're still sloppy. I mean, we still offensively had 5 penalties just on offense, and had 2 turnovers, and we had a big fumble there early in the game. We were driving, we got in the red zone, we were at about the 18-yard line, and fumbled. And we just can't do those things, and we didn't score enough points. We had a lot of yards offensively, but we didn't score enough, and so I was a little bit discouraged with that. But again, we played better. We ran the ball really well. We ran for about 350 yards, and so we really ran it well. And we were down our starting running back, 2 of the two of our juniors. Thomas Jackson and Juwan Wiggum kind of picked up the slack there for Jay Johnson. He had a little ankle issue. I think he'll be back this week. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot to correct still. Defensively, they had 2 long drives. They had the first drive of the game they had was 15 plays. We kept them out of the end zone, and that was good. But we stayed on the field too long. We had a penalty that allowed them to convert a 4th down. We jumped off sides on 4th and 2 and gave them a free one. And then they had a 17-play drive to start the second half. And we had a personal foul call on a 3rd and 12. We get a sack, and we give them a free first down. And so those things have got to be corrected. I mean, we're not going to beat anybody good. So there were some good things to take away, and it's always exciting to win. Obviously, a region game on the road is a big win anytime, but we got to play better. I mean, we got to improve, and we've not played a complete football game yet. And so a lot of those little things we need to correct. Offensively, we were like 3 of 10 on 3rd down, and 30% is not good enough there. Again, we had a red zone turnover, which is huge. Well, really 2. I mean, we were close the second time, had a holding penalty, knocked us out of there, and then we threw an interception. And so, that part needs to get better. The field position aspect was much better than Benjamin Russell. Benjamin Russell last week started on our 37-yard line, was our average starting field position, which is you can't win that way. And this week it was the exact opposite. They started their minus 37, their own 37, which therefore we made them drive the field. And so that part was a lot better. And then defensively, I thought probably the biggest thing, we went 5 straight possessions of 3 and outs. And we were getting off the field. Our 3rd downs defensively were better. We had 2 red zone stops, and that was encouraging. So we're seeing some growth. We just got a lot of work left and a lot to do.
Looking from the sideline, it looked like that you almost had to make some adjustments there right from the start of the game, that it wasn't quite what you expected to see that you saw, and the team had to make these adjustments. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, we had 2 guys out. We had 2 nose guards. Both of our first 2 nose guards were out in the game for some internal stuff. So we had to play some other guys, and we had to kind of mix it up what we were doing. And to start the game, they were getting 5-6 yards of carry, driving it down the field. Again, it was a 15-play drive to open. And so Coach Holmes and Coach Mott, Coach Hawkins and Coach Smith did a great job of getting together, made some adjustments. We kind of changed up our defensive front, ran a couple different blitzes into some things that they were doing, some things that we saw. And, it was huge. The adjustment, I was really proud of our coaches and then our kids, obviously, for handling the adjustments that we made, because after the first drive, it really, again, they went 5 straight possessions without making a first down, and that's if we're getting the ball back that much offensively and able to run the ball, we wore them out a little bit there. They were gassed, and like I said, their kids played really hard, played with great effort, but we did wear them down a little bit. But I was proud of our adjustments defensively, and the fact that we got off the field better.
One of the things that I noticed is that when the team was out and doing its thing, it was doing it, but it had those little spurts in there that you're talking about. I know the people down at Rehoboth, the fans, they didn't expect this. They thought they were going to do better than this against these Tigers.
They did. I mean, they had a chance to win the game last year at Tiger Stadium. I think it ended up being 28-14, but the game was 21-14 most of the game, and they had a chance to win. And so, yeah, I mean, they thought at home, and they should have expected to win. I mean, they have a good football team. They really do, and Coach Clark does a really good job there. And so, yeah, I mean, I think they expected it. But, again, we were able – really in the second quarter to go two straight long possessions offensively running the football. We took over the momentum of the game, and then again we were getting defensive stops, and so that we got more comfortable. I wouldn't say comfortable is the right word, but we were more confident that we were okay. We got up 14-0, scored right before the half. And so we felt better about it, and we got the ball to start the second half and scored on that possession. So 3 straight drives, we scored and went 21 unanswered points. So that was encouraging.
When you look at the fan support, could it have been better down there?
Well, I thought we traveled a lot better than Benjamin Russell. I mean, and the fans got loud at times, and and so that was good, and they helped create some energy in the stadium, and of course our band did, and our cheerleaders, and like they always do. But yeah, I mean, I was encouraged though by our support. I mean, it could always be better. You hope every time that a few more people will go, but I thought it was pretty good to ride an hour away from home, and we pretty much filled up the visitors' side, so that was encouraging.
Is it too early to start scoreboard watching for the region? I mean, I know you're only two games into the region play, but boy, like we were talking about before we went on air here, some other games. You never know. Each game in the region is so important, but is it too early to start looking?
I think we always look at it. I think a coach that tells you that he doesn't look at other scores is not telling the truth. We look at it, but we don't dig into it. I mean, I don't get ahead. That's always been my policy as a coach when I was a coordinator. Is I just didn't get ahead because, everybody we play has an opportunity to beat us, and everybody is well coached around here. And I mean, this obviously football is important in the South, and guys do a good job, so you can't overlook anybody. And but again, obviously we keep up with those things. We know where we sit in the region and where other people and what's on the horizon. We know that, but at the same time we're focused on Dale County right now, and and we're gonna make sure our kids are ready to play Friday.
Talking about that, looking at the film that you've already seen and started working on, how many adjustments do you think we're going to have to make for Dale County?
They're different than what we've played the last 2 weeks. We played a lot of wing, kind of a different. Rehoboth is a little bit unique in how they run their offense, and they're tight end wing, and they ran the ball 45 times at us, and that's that's a little bit different. And where Dale County is spreading it out, I mean, they're running 3-by-1 sets, 3 receivers and 4 receivers and empty, and they're a little bit different. They air it out, and I think Coach Mock was working on their passing routes as he draws up every Sunday, and I think they've got like 35 different passing routes that we've got to learn. We got to defend this week, and so it's different, but it's encouraging because really nowadays people are built better to defend 3 receivers, 4 receiver sets than they are tight end wing sets because the game has changed. And so our defensive philosophy fits that because we play 5 defensive backs. And so it helps us. I think it's better for us when we do play these teams because that's what we're built to stop, and I'm not saying that we will. I just, it's what we're designed now. You have to put athletes on the field to stop people that, throw it around in space, and Dale County will do that. But luckily for the next several weeks, that's what we'll see. We'll see this is kind of more of what we'll see. Offensively, we're going to see a different for them defensively, we're going to see a different look. We've been playing odd fronts every week with 3 defensive linemen. This week they're going to have 4, which is what we do defensively, and we'll get the same look for the next few weeks. So that's good. It's nice to have to get back to some common stuff. It's a little bit easier to prepare in that's what we see every week from our team. And so I guess the best way I can put it is Dale County and those guys are a little bit more like us than Rehoboth. Rehoboth is a little bit different, and so that is always a little bit challenging to get your kids ready for those type of games. But yeah, we'll get back to some more basic stuff this week.
When you look at 35 passing route possibility, how does that compare with the teams we played so far?
I mean, it's as much as all of them put together. I mean, we don't have 35 routes. I mean, we don't, we throw about 4 or 5 passes and that's it. And
Eufaula Board of Trade, where you'll find the best value in our 3,600 square feet of uncluttered air-conditioned space. Eufaula Board of Trade, wonderful treasures that now have a second chance at 327 East Barber Street, featuring antiques, baby items, furniture that needs a new home, jewelry, collectibles, and books, plus much, much more. Open 7 days a week. Eufaula Board of Trade, 327 East Barber Street, where value and quality go hand in hand.
And we just don't do a lot. And I think sometimes people that do are searching, and I think Coach Harris is kind of at Dale County searching a little bit, and that's what you do, and because you got to give your kids a chance, and that's what he's doing. But again, I mean, he's a good football coach. They went to the state championship game last year now, and I think he's a great football coach. And I was able to meet him this winter at a conference we went to, and met him real quick. But anyway, I think a lot of him. I think he's a good football coach. I think that they do some things offensively. They got a good running back, number 21, that was a really vital part. They lost a lot last year, but they bring a couple of pieces back. And 21, their running back is a 6 foot 227. He's a big running back. And so we're going to be challenged. They want to spread it out so he can kind of pound the ball in there. So we're going to be challenged this week. And, they got a big win this past week. And, but again, I think the reason they throw it as much as they do, they're searching a little bit for an identity offensively. But, I sure hope they don't find it this Friday.
You mentioned Jay's injured ankle earlier. Yeah. Is he...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still hesitant with a non-region game on him. I don't know his status. He's day-to-day. We were really aggressive rehabbing that last week, which created a lot of soreness. His swelling's down. He went and had it x-rayed, and he's fine. So it's just a pain tolerance. How quickly can I trust the ankle, get back on it, those kind of things. And Garrington Flowers was out all week with a stomach virus. He played 12 snaps Friday night. So it was encouraging to, have one of our leaders out and to shut somebody out. So that was really encouraging for the next man up, philosophy. But yeah, I'm ready for us to get a full team back. I mean, golly, I feel like, but it's like this for everybody. But I really hope that we can get healthy this week. But the thing is that last week we got beat up a little bit in practice. We were really physical after the Ben Russell loss, and we needed to be, and we're going to go back and be physical again this week at practice. But anyway, but again, we need to, it's kind of a balance, when you're doing that. You need to be physical in the week, but you got to stay healthy. It's just sort of a balanced deal. But I hope Jay's back. I hope Garrington's back. I feel good about both the guys.
When you look at the game coming up Friday night, it's going to be at the normal time. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a smaller region that we're playing.
It is.
But this team plays like a 6A school.
They do. And remember, last year they wore Eufaula out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was bad at Dale County. I mean, it was, I don't remember the exact score, but it was at least 3 or 4 touchdowns. I mean, it was a pretty good beating there. And our kids remember that, and they want to play well. They want to play better. But we need it. I mean, the meat of our schedule is coming up, and we need to be playing at a really high level at that point. But again, we got to focus on this week, and we got to take care of ourselves and fix some mistakes, because again, it was a big win Friday, but we made a lot of mistakes, especially offensively. Our offensive line did not play well. And, we've got to get better up front. And, that's my job, and Coach Williams, who's helping me with the offensive line. We've got to get our guys going. Our defensive line played really, really well, but up front offensively we didn't. And so we've got to get those things fixed. So again, this week's about Eufaula. We'll obviously do our homework on Dale County, but it's about us and seeing if we can play at a higher level and be a little bit better in the red zone and be a little bit better on third down. And when you have 450 yards of offense like we did last week, you need to score more than 21 points. We missed a field goal. We need to hit that. And so again, we've got a lot to do, a whole bunch.
One of the things too, talking to the fans now. This team, when they're at home, has fan support like you wouldn't believe. I mean, they obviously have put time and money and everything else into this team. Eufaula don't need to be slack Friday night. They need to come out and watch a good football game.
Yeah, we need another atmosphere like we had at Russell County. Russell County was a huge home gate. The attendance was really, really good. And we do. We've been gone for 2 weeks. We've been on the road for a while, it feels like, and it'll be nice to be back here in Tiger Stadium and not have to worry about all the travel and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time, and hopefully we'll come out and support. We got a couple of special things that we're doing this week. We're going to dedicate the game to the teachers. They don't really know that yet, but I guess they will now. But we're going to give it to our teachers, and we've got some special things that we're doing with our seniors. It's sort of as a surprise for our teachers, and we're just hopeful that that we can have a big crowd, and then obviously going forward, the next week is homecoming, so we need 2 in a row, big crowds, and it'd be nice to be at home.
When you talk about things coming up, is these events going to be before the game?
Yeah, we'll have something before the game. Again, I'll get into more of it later, but just something we don't say enough about our teachers and about our administration here. We talk, when you guys come, we always sit and talk about football, but, there's so much more that goes into a day for a kid, and to just get to football practice at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He's been influenced by a lot of teachers along the way, and so we've done a teacher's breakfast once, but it's time to do something else because, we can't do it without them. And, obviously a lot of our kids, hope to go on and play college football, and those teachers are a huge part of that. So anyway, just something to recognize them this week.
One of the things that I've noticed that our teachers do here is that they will work especially hard with the students that are in sports, athletics. Mm-hmm. And they will make sure, not give them grades,
right,
but they make sure they know the material.
Well, we have study hall 2 days a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and any kid that has below a C is mandatory study hall. And we've seen that list shrink from the first day. We have 82 players. It was 45 of them had something the first week. And the first week we did it, which was week 3 of our school year. And now we have less than 20 on the list. So we're making progress. It's not perfect, but a lot of that has to do with our teachers. And, I tell the kids all the time, most of it is just effort. If you go into a teacher's classroom and you're pleasant, and you work your tail off, if you do that, then they're going to help you, and they are. Ms. Harris is providing ACT prep on Thursdays for us, focusing on math right now, and a lot of our upperclassmen are going to that to help them. And so they're not required to go to study hall, but a lot of them are taking the initiative to go and do that prep work. And so again, I can't say enough about our teachers, but everything that they do, I can't even put it into words. It's so important for our kids, and I hope they understand how much we appreciate them.
Well, I know it's obvious in walking through the halls here at Eufaula High School, the spirit that the teachers show and help transfer that to the team and to the coaching staff, because it makes it a lot easier when you've got backing.
It does.
And I'll tell you what, you got a big fan there in our principal.
Yes.
Steve Hawkins is something else.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better boss. Really, I know I'm not just saying that, but he does a great job, and nobody knows the day-to-day challenges that he has, and how much he cares about the kids here. Because what's great about him is he's a Eufaula person, mm-hmm. And that's really, really important. At Opelika, we had the same thing. In our principal, he was an Opelika guy. Mm-hmm. And he's not an outsider. He's here, and that's the way Steve Hawkins is. He really cares about our program, and is really, really important. But at the same time, he holds us to a certain standard. It's not like he looks away from an issue. No, we're just working together, and it's honestly really, really important to be supported.
When you look at the game Friday night, now you're going to have practices going all week long. Start this afternoon, on Monday afternoon. What are you going to be looking at in those practices? What areas?
Again, I mean, we've got to get better offensively, more consistent. I mean, offense is so slow. It just drives you crazy because you're almost there, and there's like a little thing here or there that you didn't do, and that cost yourself, 14 points, which you did Friday night. We had a couple of things that just little bitty thing that kept it from a 35-42 point win, and now we're 21-0, and we didn't feel great about it. But we've got a lot of work to do everywhere, and we're a work in progress, but we are getting better.
When you look at offensively, matching us up offensively with Dale County, what's the difference?
Well, I mean, again, schematically they're a little different than what we've seen, and so we've got to prepare for that. But again, the good thing is they're very similar to our defense. They just play a little bit more one safety look instead of two, which is a little bit different than what we've seen. But again, it's about us offensively. I think people get too caught up in what the other team does. Again, you have to do your homework. You have to know personnel and where they're going to be and how they're going to line up and how to attack it. But the fact of the matter is you got to play well. You got to execute with what you do. We don't go in week to week and change 20 things on offense. We give a little bit of window dressing. We add a motion or a formation, but we don't change plays. I mean, we didn't add one play for our offensive line. We're just not going to. So, I mean, that's not a secret. We're just not going to do that.
Eufaula Board of Trade, where you'll find the best value in our 3,600 square feet of uncluttered air-conditioned space. Eufaula Board of Trade, wonderful treasures that now have a second chance at 327 East Barber Street, featuring antiques, baby items, furniture that needs a new home, jewelry, collectibles, and books, plus much, much more. Open 7 days a week. Eufaula Board of Trade, 327 East Barber Street, where value and quality go hand in hand.
Because our 5 guys up front have got to be extremely comfortable and confident in what they're doing because, they see a certain look defensively, they give us something. We need to be able to handle that on the run, and you can't do that if you have 20 different run schemes. Mm-hmm. And so, again, like I said earlier, we run about 4 runs and about 5 passes, and that's it. Mm-hmm. We do them different ways, and we dress them up and try to disguise what we're trying to do, but that's all we do, and that's all we're ever going to do because I'm just of the belief, and luckily I was around some really good coaches, Coach McCracken and Coach Blackman and those guys, but you can't be good at a lot of stuff. You got to be good at a few things, and we're not going to go out there and try and reinvent it. We just got to get better, and we got to focus on us.
Kyle?
I think I'm good.
You're good. Well, I tell you what, the Tigers are looking better. I want to encourage the people to come out Friday night. Mm-hmm. They got to remember this is going to be a good football game.
Definitely.
This is not going to look like a big school playing a little school. This is going to be a game.
Right.
And these people are capable of giving us a game, and we need to get the crowd support for that. Now, I want to bring up something else, has nothing to do with the game, but it has to do with the fact that there's this big, nice-looking truck driving around here with logos on it. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, luckily Billy Lawrence Chevrolet provided the Eufaula Athletics Department a truck. That's in exchange for a corporate sponsorship that they have, and it's not for any type of personal use. It's parked here at the school every night under the stadium, and but it's for. I just think it's a point of pride when you see that there's a local business supporting a program like ours. I think it's huge for our kids. Our kids love having it, and so all we do is we pull a trailer. Dennis Durant's at Fields Barbecue provided us with a trailer for the games, and so we pack up, and boy, that's a process. I just can't explain how long that takes to get everything ready to take 100 kids on the road. But we pull that truck, and I think it's a point of pride. It has Billy Lawrence Chevrolet on the side, and then it's got our big Eufaula Tiger Eye with Eufaula Athletics written on it, and it's just, again, for all sports, boys and girls, to be able to use to transport, coaches. We obviously can't put kids in it, but to transport our coaches and pull our gear, and I think it's a really big deal, and I'm so appreciative of the dealership of doing that, and just thankful for what they've done.
When you look at all the effort that goes into a Friday night game, and especially on Friday, not counting beforehand, you're talking about that's an early morning breakfast that you have, and that gets the team fired up. And if that wasn't bad enough, you got Sarge over there trying to fire him up as well. But you go through all of that day. And then what time, all right, let's talk about a home game, Friday night. What time does this team have to be out of school getting ready for that game?
Well, I mean, right when, we have, we eat at First Baptist Church, and they provide, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Y'all wouldn't believe. You see the plates and they cooked 1,100 pieces of bacon the other day for us. So, 33 pounds of hash browns. So, we're talking about quite a breakfast. And anyway, they provide that for us, and we have a devotion that morning. So we go through the day, and, we match, we wear a certain shirt. And then fourth block, when they get here, we come down and we have meetings, and we have walkthroughs during fourth block, and then we have a pep rally, and then right after the pep rally we have a little rest and relax time, a little bit, and then we're going to eat pregame meal somewhere in a local restaurant or wherever we like to leave campus and go eat. And then when we come back, it's pretty much the individual meetings and team meetings and tape and dress, and then we're on the field at about 5:10. Our quarterbacks are loosening up at 5:10, and then, I mean, there's just so much. Our punters and kickers are out there at 5:20, and then we're throwing passes on the field, and then at 6 o'clock everybody comes out. We finish our warm-up, we're in at 6:30, and then we have our last team meeting, and then at 7 we're playing. So there's so much more to it than what people see. People have asked me, do the kids get to leave on Friday? That's just not an option. We're busy. I mean, we're literally down to the minute. It's just it's so different than being, for me, it's different than being a coordinator. It's just the organization of it all is where I spend 90% of my time. Thankful I have good assistant coaches that can watch a lot of football and help me with game planning and those kind of things. And because there's just so much organization that goes into it, and people don't understand that. And but again, we have a lot of support and a lot of help, and without all the coaches, I just don't know how it'd get done.
One of the things that I want to say, you have a lot of support from the school, you have a lot of support from everybody around, but one of the biggest supporters I've ever seen is your wife.
She is, and Lindsay is, and you have to be. I mean, nobody understands that except coaches' wives, what they go through. I mean, tonight we go to Opelika. I was here at 5:30 cutting grass. When I'll go through all day, we'll practice football. We'll drive to Opelika tonight, an hour and 15 minutes or so. We'll play them in a 9th grade game. When we get done, we'll be home probably 9:30 or so on a Monday night. And then I'll get up. I have a meeting with Brandon Johnson, our offensive coordinator, at 5:30 on Tuesday mornings. We go over our call sheet and game plan. And it's just part of it. And so, not only wives, not only Lindsay and all she does, but who the teacher's idea is her idea, by the way, for this Friday night. So she does a lot of that stuff. I married up. I married somebody a lot smarter than me, I promise you that. And so that was a good call years ago for us. It's been helpful. But and then not only wives, but also kids. I mean, nobody understands. I mean, I was here until 9 o'clock last night. On a Sunday night, and I got to go to church with my family, and then when we got done, I was here immediately after we had Sunday lunch, and so it's just really challenging during the football season. And so, I'm hopeful that the community sees what our wives go through and our kids, and that they're supportive of them, because it's so much work. But you have to, if you want to run a program of this size the right way. There's just a degree of work, and you just understand that as a coach. So it's not, I heard a coach say it's not really a grind because you really enjoy doing it. I do, and I think all our coaches do. But it is challenging on a family, and you have to find some balance. Any moment that I get, I spend it at home. I don't have other hobbies. I don't play golf. I don't, and none of the coaches really do, because every moment we have to be with our family, and that we're not here. And but after the 15-week season, we're done with that, and then we can really, I always say, just get to know them again. I hate to say it that way, but it's true to a degree. But you do, you have to. you have to take advantage. I saw you, Ron, Thursday night. You have to take advantage of date night and those kind. You have to do that, and and I'm always working on finding more balance too. And so anyway, but everybody has to understand that what they go through and be very supportive of them because it's a lot.
One of the things too, you have two great kids. They are unreal. The first time I met you, those kids blew me away.
They are.
They are behaved. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're. I'm blessed. I am because ultimately one day, football is going to run out at some point in my life, and all these coaches, but that family won't. And so you better have your priorities right. Sometimes it seems like we don't because we're up here so much, but again. Every advantage, every moment we have, we better spend it at home. And yeah, I'm blessed to have great kids and great parents. Luckily still have my parents and my grandmother that was here the day that I got this job. And so I'm blessed to have a great family.
Well, we've just got one thing to say, Coach Moore, right here at the end of the program of the Coach's Corner. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Ladies, unlock the cash value in your jewelry box. Sell your gold on Dale Road. We buy gold jewelry, bent or broken, at Eufaula Flea Market, 354 Dale Road.
Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road.